clients are set to benefit from reduced DSTV subscription fees after government compelled MultiChoice Ghana to accept a downward review of its prices. The final decision on the percentage cut will be announced by September 21, 2025. Addressing the press this afternoon, Communications Minister Sam Nati George said MultiChoice until now had resisted regulatory directives but finally agreed to comply following sanctions from the National Communications Authority, the NCA. The company was fined 10,000 Ghana cedis daily for 24 days, amounting to nearly 240,000 Ghana cedis after it failed to provide the regulator with details of its bouquet offering by the August 4 deadline. The NCA also issued a 30-day suspension notice set to expire tomorrow, but MultiChoice opened fresh talks with the ministry ahead of that deadline. To steer the process, the government has established a stakeholder committee which will be chaired by Minister Sam George himself. The committee brings together representatives from the Ministry of Communications, Digitalization, the NCA, MultiChoice Ghana, and MultiChoice Africa. Take a listen to the Minister for Communications, Sam Nati George.
Relates to the pricing concerns and suspension notice served by the regulator to MultiChoice Ghana Limited. The 30-day deadline given to MultiChoice by the NCA expires tomorrow, 6 September 2025. It will be recalled that the NCA had requested for a breakdown of the cost buildup for the various bouquet offerings by MultiChoice in Ghana and in 7 other African countries on the 4th of August 2025. That information was not delivered by MultiChoice. This led to the consequential imposition of a 10,000 Ghana cedi daily fine effective 14th of August 2025 in line with the dictates of the Electronic Communications Act on MultiChoice Ghana. The regulator also served a 30-day notice of suspension effective 7th of August 2025. However, ahead of the expiration of the suspension notice tomorrow, MultiChoice yesterday reached out to the ministry and the regulator, indicating now a willingness to comply to address the pricing concerns through a consultative process as was adopted by the ministry with the MNOs during the data pricing reduction exercise. Consequently, we've taken the decision to immediately establish a stakeholder committee comprising representatives from the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, the regulator, the NCA, MultiChoice Ghana, and MultiChoice Africa. I will personally chair the committee. MultiChoice has requested a 30-day window for the committee to arrive at what percentage of reduction will be achieved. So let's be clear. They have finally accepted that there will be a reduction. Now they want us to discuss the level of reduction.
So that's the Minister for Communications, Sam Nati George, who also doubles as the MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Well, he also revealed that Canal Plus Group, which is acquiring MultiChoice Africa by the end of this month, has assured governments it will honor any pricing agreement reached.
Of MultiChoice Africa by the Canal Plus Group by end of September 2025. I have therefore held engagement with Canal Plus and secured their confirmation that they will abide by any agreements that the stakeholder committee we're setting up today reaches with MultiChoice Ghana. They'll be bound by the reductions that we agree. I also have the commitment that Ghana will be placed as a priority on Canal Plus's management's playbook, and Ghana will be the first country they will visit for us to have conversations on possible further reductions when Canal Plus also takes over. You can be rest assured, by 21st of September, we would have arrived at a destination that sees Ghanaians pay less than they currently pay for their multi-choice bouquets. In light of transparency and accountability, we'll make the report of the committee available to the public by 21st of September when that committee is done with its work. But we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel. However, the NCA still has the mandate to ensure that they collect what is due from the fines that we imposed on MultiChoice. The almost 24 days before they provided the information that they did not provide the information. 10,000 cedis a day for 24 days. Thank you very much.
So that's the Minister for Communications, Sam Nati George. We're trying to establish contact with CAT International because they have been calling on the ministry and government to dialogue before the end of this deadline, and of course, some agreements have been reached. There's a dialogue committee set up by governments to deal with this particular matter. We'll get to the bottom of this matter when we speak to CAT International.
Meanwhile, Communications Minister Samuel Nati George has also assured that there will be no job losses as government oversees their ongoing integration of the Airtel Tigo Ghana with Telecel Ghana. He said all 300 permanent staff at Airtel Tigo Ghana will retain their jobs, while the fate of 200 contract staff is also under review.
80 C. Commence the disconnection of power to 80's radio access networks across the country due to the outstanding debt. To avoid a national crisis that could have affected over 3 million subscribers of AT Ghana, the NCA directed AT and Telecel to immediately establish a national roaming agreement, thereby migrating all of AT's traffic onto Telecel's network to minimize disruption. It is important to note at this point that all of AT's services, and I'll be clear here, voice, SMS, data, and AT money remain intact. To pull off this integration commitment, as Minister, establish a national roaming agreement, thereby migrating all of AT's traffic onto Telecel's network to minimize disruption. It is important to note at this point that all of AT's services, and I'll be clear here, voice, SMS, data, and AT money remain intact. As Minister, I want to commend the exceptional skills and commitment shown by the technical teams of AT Ghana and Telecel Ghana.
That's the Communications Minister, Samuel Nati George.
Fortunately for us, we've been joined on the phone by the West African Director for CAT International, Adumako Apia Kusi. Mr. Kusi, good evening to you. I'm grateful for your company this evening on 505.
Yes, good evening.
You called for dialogue weeks ago when the banter came up again. Now, government has given MultiChoice a September 21 deadline to reduce the DSTV prices. From a consumer rights perspective, is this fair? Is this a fair approach?
Well, I think we know that Ghanaians were expecting that MultiChoice reduces its price when the CD gain value, but they were not keen in doing so, largely because they didn't have any competitor in the market. And the minister felt that the operator was not fair to the Ghanaian consumers. But now the company has seen the need that they have to reduce their prices. And I think it's the right thing that they should do.
When the fine came up, the 10,000 daily fine, you agreed because it's in line with what the law says. Now the committee is supposed to sit. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of an argument or a proper discussion into why and how this particular reduction should be. If you are to recommend any key thing for it to be discussed during that meeting, what would that be?
I will say that now that the company has agreed to reduce the price, there's a committee. The committee would also have to look at the market conditions and to use that one to adjust the price. And I think Ghanaians must also manage the expectation with regards to the quantum of the reduction. I mean, for the past couple of days, we have seen that the city is not doing well. And that thing could also feed into the new tariff that will come.
Mr. Adubak, are you with me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, many are also a bit skeptical about the quality of service which will be provided to Ghanaians after the takeover. Now, Canal Plus is taking over DSTV. People are skeptical about the quality of service to be provided. If you have to make any recommendations as far as quality of service, what would that be? Again, the minister set up a committee to negotiate that. What outcome should consumers realistically expect from such a process?
Yes. You know that there is no competitor in the pay TV market. Largely, and MultiChoice is almost a monopoly in the market. And when you are a monopoly in the market, you don't have any incentive to do certain things to even reduce prices or improve upon quality of service. And so the minister has to set up quality of standards guideline for the company. They use that standard to always benchmark their performance. And anytime you realize that what they have doing is below the standard, then the regulator can crack the whip.
30% reduction call you think it's too harsh as DSTV stated initially, or you think maybe 20 or 15 should do?
I think we can't sit on radio and just mention the percentage. I think this reduction should be informed by the cost of operation, the CD to the dollar rate, among other variables. So if looking at all those variables and you know that it comes to, let's say, 25 or 35, why not? So let us be more scientific in terms of coming up with the percentage reduction.
But the cost of production operations was the reason why DSTV was very reluctant to do the reduction.
I mean, MultiChoice largely doesn't incur production costs in Ghana. What they do is that they are just managing subscription management services. They don't produce any content here to say that the cost of production. But of course, they buy license from they have a cost, because for the license that they get to broadcast, they are charged per country, the population, and other things. And I'm sure as the committee need to discuss the percentage reduction, they will be able to come up with the relevant reduction.
Well, let's see what happens in the coming days. Mr. Kwesi, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Bye.
So that's Adumaku Kwesi, who is the West African Director for CATS International.
At least 14 individuals, including teachers, students,